Come on now. All right, I'm gonna get my drink quickly. Okay, get it together. Sorry, guys, it took me a minute. Khaled, Khalil, Billy Farmer, Band King, welcome. We're doing Aries right now, and then I got one more left to do. Probably going to happen tomorrow after the accountability one. We'll see what we can do. For the moment, Aries, it's your attention. So, my workshop went late, and I hate doing things late, but it is what it is. We're going to do our very best, and as long as I make it in time to go get my daughter, we're in good shape. So, all right. Can I have for Aries for the month of February a gratitude card? Every morning, look in the mirror and affirm positive words into your life. As you move through your day, take a moment to look into a mirror. While looking into your own eyes, recite these words aloud or silently. But what does that matter? That's a weird question. I have children. I'm never alone. And I have God on my side. Again, still never alone. Okay, so aloud or silently. I love myself unconditionally and I am always enough. And when you, it says aloud or silently, but I think that when you love yourself, you should speak it out as much as you possibly can. So if I were you, maybe at first it has to be silent, but let's get towards speaking your greatness into the world and convincing yourself exactly who you are. My best friend Cal, welcome. I like that name. Pete, welcome. Tompy, welcome. And can I have a self-care for my Aries? That's the one, eh? No matter how much falls on us, we keep plowing ahead. That's the only way to keep the roads clear. Jackie, welcome. Think of a time recently when you have pushed on, be it through exhaustion or obstacles. Find contentment in your strength. And if we did more of that, I was just talking about Virgo earlier, and it was kind of the same thing. Learning to get excited about the things you've actually overcome and start celebrating your wins because they're much deserved. Celebrate your greatness, affirm your greatness, speak your greatness into the world. Convince yourself, convince your soul exactly the person you believe you are. That's where true strength, empowerment, and confidence come from. Speak it in, and guess what? When you speak it out, you act accountably just as well because you're speaking it, and inherently your body and your mind are going to follow with what you're speaking into existence. Unknown Caesar, Lil Mama, welcome. Can I have one creativity for my Aries for the month of February? Something to stay focused, show up with more gratitude, self-love, nurture. Yeah, you're learning how to nurture yourself. I got two here: nurture and enchantment. You're understanding that when you nurture yourself, you become more enchanted. It's okay to be proud of who you are. It's okay to stand boldly and confidently in the person that you're becoming, and speak it into existence every single day. Welcome, Patricia and Kanta Burma, Canadian. Welcome. So enchantment and also angel number 47. Great number if you want to do some homework. Those little questions at the back of your mind. These numbers, if you take the time and go look them up, there's always going to be something there for you. Marula, Donkey Mosquito, welcome. Some of these names. We are enchanted when the muses sing the art spirit into us. Become enchanted with what you want to do in life. Uh, Become enchanted with yourself, your capabilities. This is how you nurture. For self care, try loving and nurturing yourself as you would a child or a pet. And then angel number 46. So 46 and 47, which is again progression. When we learn how to nurture ourselves, we really can treat ourselves with the same kindness we would our child or pet. And when we do that, we breathe more and more life into ourselves, which is a good space to be in. Let's see if I can get through this on time today. Empathic starseed. Yeah, you're learning to sort through what's yours to carry, what's not yours, what's being projected onto you, what your thoughts, feelings are. It's a whole, you're learning to process, sort through, get rid of, keep what you need, those kind of things. Toronto Discover, welcome. And Fifi, welcome. Empathic starseed, where are you at? Angel number 64. So yeah, we got it. 46, 64, mirrored numbers. So what you speak, what you do, how you act is going to mirror back to you. And you're starting to learn that. Curvins and Rose, maybe? Welcome. What did I say? 64? Yeah. All right. Empathic star seeds are here to shift the world through their physical presence alone. They don't need to do anything beyond being here. Thanks to the energetic change in their physical presence causes. Due to their highly sensitive nature, empathic starseeds can struggle with being on Earth and in a physical body. Many are prone to addiction and depression or tend to mistake other people's feelings and moods for their own. Natural introverts, they tend to prefer spending time alone or in small groups. Crowds can be overwhelming for them. If this card appears, consider lightening the load energetically. Don't put yourself under such pressure to go out into the world. Be gentle with yourself. Allow extra time and care to recover energetically. If you're feeling pressured to keep up a certain pace, instead, put on the brakes and treat yourself like a precious baby. Do whatever you can to take the pressures of the world off your plate. Switch off to switch back on. In today's world, it's normal to feel that we should be doing more, but perhaps being present in our life is enough. This could be a phase you're going through, or simply how you're being called to live your life. If your work involves giving to others, right now you're being called to keep something for yourself. You don't need to transmute it all. It's okay to look after your own growth and healing before feeling you should offer it to the world. Indeed, it is necessary if you want to continue to do so sustainably. So you're learning what to keep, what to let go of, the balance of giving too much, and learning to nurture yourself. How can you take better care of yourself energetically? YG Paris, welcome. Hi, Rose. How are you? Queen of the S, welcome. Yeah, how can you take better care of yourself energetically? You're learning how to speak your greatness. You're learning how to nurture yourself and become enchanted with the qualities that you've been yearning to build in yourself, to recognize. And it took you some time, and that's okay. You're learning to understand what they are, what they mean, and you're learning to celebrate them. You're learning to recognize your talents, and you're learning how to speak affirmations. I love myself unconditionally, and I am always enough. Start with that affirmation. That one affirmation, it's huge. It's life-changing, and it will help you through so many things. When you start to understand your own personal strength, your personal power, you absolutely give time for yourself. You don't rush to help, and it's not that we don't want to help people. It's that we're not rushing to do it anymore. We're understanding that for us to possibly help somebody else, we first need to be at our highest best. So we're not draining our own selves to give to everybody else, because then we become in lack. Anastasia, welcome. And when we go into lack, that's when we start struggling with all of the other things and we push all our stuff away. But if we do it from a full cup and an overflowing cup, we create space, right, for ourselves, a safe space for others, and we can give freely, which is a much healthier way to do it. Because we know it's coming back. In the end, it's coming back. It may not be from that person. It'll come from exactly where it needs to come from. And you're learning to trust that. And that's a good space. The answers you need are coming. Prosperity lies ahead and a fiery climax approaches. You're understanding when to hold on, when to let go, what to process. Uh, prosperity lies ahead. And as long as you keep seeking, the answers are going to come. There's nothing to hold you back. You're speaking your greatness. You're following it up with the actions to do so. You're speaking life into you and you're celebrating all of the great things. Sorry, wrong one. This one. Think of a time recently when you've pushed on, be it through exhaustion or obstacles. Find contentment in your strength. You're starting to understand that no matter what, you always keep moving forward. Hi, Viola. Munchindu. Hi. Does that person K? I don't ask other people about other people. You can ask about things in your life, and I will do my best to ask it. But if we're asking about somebody else, it's a no-go. That's for karma, and I don't do that. I don't know who Jay is, and you should ask. I won't ask because I don't know who Jay is, and it's not my business. I don't peek into someone else's energy. And if you want to know if they love you, check in with your own. Ask. Give them the opportunity to answer for you. That's communication. That's how love is built and cherished. Answer the call, and then keepers of the earth. This one is a good one. Where is it? 36. Angel number 36. There's a lot of sixes today, which means you're finding alignment, and that's actually really good. Will I get a job? Will I receive money tomorrow? Well, will you get a job? Did you apply? You're going to get what you work for. That's how life works. Will I receive money tomorrow? Is it payday tomorrow? Friday, so probably chances are yes. Answer the call. Your guidance is divinely guided. You're being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary. It might not make sense. But if you trust your soul's yearnings, you'll live a life beyond what your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one-time thing, rather a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul yearns for. Whatever you are called to do, this is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step-by-step plan before they take the first step, but intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul, and that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You are in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't need to even know where it is leading. You just need to take the next step. No one has ever had the complete perfect plan. There is no end destination. There is no right or wrong way to do it. And you do not need permission from anyone else. Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. What is your soul calling you to do? Tommy, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Give me 1 second, because now that I know how to do this whole jacket thing, it'll make it a lot easier. That way when take over. Okay, I got it. Now I know how to use other stuff. We're getting there. I hope you're doing well. Shormilla Sieber, welcome. And Mark, welcome. We're talking about Aries today. Great man, finished up a 3-day job. I like the short jobs. Are you a contractor? Is that what you do? Like, you do smaller jobs? I think. I used to be a general contractor. I've worn many jackets, to be honest. But the small jobs are nice, and they're usually a quick burst of money too. especially I used to be an independent contractor, so I did all kinds of things, but those jobs were usually really great bursts of money. And you're very welcome. Megs, welcome. Where I lost my cards. Right here. No, I don't want that one yet. I want this one yet. Okay, so my Aries, you're learning how to nurture yourself. I see it. I feel it. You're affirming your greatness. You're not just saying, I think I'm great. You're saying, I know I'm great. And I'm learning as I go, and these things are going. So what can they focus on this month? Moon in Leo. Let your inner hero out. You're learning that it's okay to treat yourself like the superhero you are, because every single day that you show up and you learn the lessons and you do the things. Look at Leo. Leo moon just passed too. You got 2 in a row. Shine bright like the star you are. Amen. And that's my Leo. I see you. I feel you. Don't be shy about it. Eclipse in Leo. You're learning compassion for yourself, for others, but first yourself. You're learning to nurture yourself. You're learning to love yourself, and just actually be the strength that you are. Aries, you've always had courage. You are the ram. That's what you do the most. And you're actually learning how to take that and use that, balance the courage with compassion. And that's how you get a hero, right? You're finding the balance that works. And look at, as I look, it says rebalance on the bottom. Your justice energy, your understanding. Hi, Bosco. How are you? Right? When you learn how to negotiate with yourself, understand what matters and what doesn't, what comes from that is this beautiful rebalance that allows your heroism to shine. Okay. You balance your courage and your compassion. You're actually in the middle. I would call it your justice season. Hi, it's Bonnie. How are you? And I'm Aries. Oh, you're here at the perfect time. Are you feeling a little more balanced? Because I think you're learning. I think that's where you're at. And I think you're figuring out how to boost yourself, love yourself. I don't know why these notifications block my chat. I don't like it. I'm day shift maintenance. Job title is welder. We're on layoff, so temp working for the warehouse. His usual contractors suck. Uh, yeah, that's usually how it works, right? Because you got to remember, when you work for the business, a lot of times they get paid by the hour. And sometimes shitty pay by the hour. So to balance it out, you got to get way more hours out of it. And that's where the integrity and honesty comes into play, right? And it actually, that's usually when a lot of people end up switching how they do it, because they see the integrity and honesty. And it's not, you don't want to rip yourself off, but at the same time, you're like, oh, okay, we can't charge 40 hours for this job that takes 10, right? So, and if you did that and you did something that took way, way, way less, I promise you they noticed, first of all. Second of all, that's when those changes happen. That's when those big, okay, we're going to go with this company. We're going to do this. Do you want to work independently? That's how those kind of business things happen. And it's not because you're ripping yourself off. It's because you're trusting you're standing in integrity and you're trusting your job. And some people become very complacent and don't do the same thing. So when that balance happens, it's actually a really good thing. So yeah, Bosco, also the Aries, I hope you're feeling the balance. You're finding out how to be, you're learning how to nurture yourself and speak your greatness, right? I'm just giving you a quick recap. But if you miss it and you want to go back and check it out, you can go on my YouTube. I always post the replays up there, just in case you miss it. You're trusting that the answers you need are coming because you're asking the right one. And no matter what happens, you're finding the balance along the way. Where's the other one? You're learning how to just answer the call. You're learning how to say, yes, I trust that it's going to work out. And if I'm not winning right away, I'm learning lessons that are taking me to my winning season. So, no matter what, it's win-win. And this whole courage thing, this one's really great because you're learning how to negotiate with yourself. You're rebalancing the difference between your heroism. You're understanding that your heroism is the balance between compassion and courage. You're Aries and you're Leo, and that's okay. Aries and Leo, fire. You're putting everything into action. You've been doing the mind work, the emotional work, the processing. You're learning how to take that and balance it. So your action, which is the fire, the movement, the action of it rebalances and goes from a place of integrity. Aries Sun and Leo Moon. That's perfect. Henny, welcome. Good evening. Oh, it's afternoon here, but this guy hires cheap labor and gets garbage results. Well, you get what you pay for. That's just what it is. But he plays pool with certain higher ups. So he keeps getting work on. That's fair enough. That's true. That's a good way. Job security, fixing everybody else's screw ups. And it only makes you look good and reliable. So that's a good thing. It's okay. I'm multitasking my whole life. I love that you're Aries Sun and Leo Moon. What you're learning to do is balance. You're not staying in the moon. You're not staying in the lower vibrations. You're finding that balance, right? You're raising your vibration just by understanding how to balance the two. And when you understand how to balance the two, that integrity just comes through and the confidence is natural. Balance is the key to everything, especially if you've lived a life of extremes. Everything was life and death. Everything was survival. Everything was win or lose. Like there was never a balance, right? Now you're like, there is no lose. I'm learning. I'm going to be better at it this time. I'm doing better. I know that I'm amazing because I overcame it. There's a whole different perspective that happens. And that balance doesn't say, well, I screwed it up. That balance says, it wasn't perfect this time. But now I know if I pivot and do this and this, I'm going to do way better. So you're understanding that balance is the difference between failure and spiral or inspired and moving forward, right? And that's a really good space to be. Can I have an angel number? That's the one. 101. You're learning, you're mastering Earth 101. Balance 101. And I love that. Starting over, and it's okay. You're learning that every single time you start over, you're not starting new. Okay, you're pivoting. You're at a jump off point. It's not a constant back to the back here. No, you're starting over right here because every step you got is a new step and you're learning the lesson. So you're learning from that point, not having to go backwards. There's no more 3 steps forward, 10 steps back. It's 3 steps forward, pause, understand, learn, overcome, move forward. And that's a big win, especially when it was used to be 3 steps forward, 10 back, right? So that's a really big win. Wisdom, transformation, resilience, growth, empowerment, and new beginnings. Yeah, it's a good space to be in, especially if you've been back and forth. And the life journey is the life journey. 3 steps forward, 10 steps back, a somersault, a backflip, crawl through the mud, under the bridge. That's kind of how the life works. But now you know you don't have to fall backwards. You don't have to self-sabotage. You don't have to rebuild every single time. You're getting to start from a point of learning, right? And you're learning and you know you're always going to be learning. So when you take it like that, it's not a sabotage. Oh, I'm a failure. No, I learned a lesson and it's a valuable lesson. And it's going to help me when I move forward. When you do that, you're literally affirming your greatness. You're understanding that you don't fail. You never fail. You learn a lesson. And even sometimes you may have to pause for a moment to understand the lesson or to ask, what is it I'm meant to learn? But you know that if you nurture yourself just enough and you take that little moment and find that place of balance, the answer will come. So you're never moving backward. You might pause for a moment. You might have to pause. You might have to understand it. But at the end, very much so, you're going to move forward. Not backwards, not spiraling, not negative. You're moving forward. And that is a beautiful place. Happiness stems from self-expression, growth, and experiences. View failures as steps to a deeper wisdom. Happiness is real, achievable, and all around you. Appreciate both the small and significant moments on your journey. Failures are opportunities for renewal. Embrace the fresh start ahead. You don't have to jump back. You don't have to keep clawing your way back. Everything is a fresh step forward, but it's a step from knowledge, a step from empowerment, and a step from courage, compassion, all the things that you've learned along the way. And of course, Aries are the ram. What do? They keep plowing forward, right? Uh, think of a time recently when you've pushed on, be it through exhaustion or obstacles. Find contentment in your strength. You know, no matter what, you keep moving forward, no matter what happens. Hi, Epic. Welcome. How are you? I hope you're doing good. Yes, this is for my Aries. It's not, I always say for Aries, but I explained it a little bit on the last one. This system, the energy is for Aries, but this energy is for anybody, but the way that I focus it and the way we kind of talk about it is the way the moon systems and the patterns work, their positions and all that stuff. The way it works is sometimes it's easier to heal the emotional, easier to focus on the act, like the act of doing something, easier to focus on digging deeper, being more compassionate. Like there's certain things that you can focus on. And it doesn't mean that it's inherently all just one sign, but what it means is for this month, Aries can focus just a little bit more on that nurture, right? They're doing well with it. They're understanding that it's easier, it's simpler, and it's really, really a good space to be. Uh, I love that. Keep it up. Thank you. You're learning how to preserve your life force energy. You're understanding that what's on the bottom? These just awakened awareness. You're figuring the balance and you're understanding that in that balance, there's a space for you. And these just flipped out the way they were when I pulled the decks out. But when it happens like that, they deserve honorable mention, right? Find contentment in your strength, right? When you get to that space, you start to trust yourself. It's a different kind of, you've already overcome. You already know what you know. You've been through it. You've walked the walk. You've had to do all the things. You've done the failures. You've fallen back. You understand now you're not starting over every single time. You're starting from experience. You're never spiraling back again to zero. You know that you may have to pause for a moment to understand, to learn something, to maneuver so you can do better, but you're not getting stuck in it. You're not spiraling. You're trusting yourself. I hope today as well. That's good. I love to see when I'm always happy for good days. And I'm telling you, it was kind of a busy one. This day flew for me. But I started Journey to Wholeness. Yeah, I love that one. This is a really good one. I'll read it. But I started with the Virgo energy this morning. And I first was like, I felt like heavy. It felt really, really heavy. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to read a heavy energy. But I kept getting this feeling of like push forward. Just do it, right? So I listened. That's what I do. And it was talking about the void. And if you don't really know what that is, if you go to my Fire and Flow series, the still point kind of talks about that. It's when you've released all that negative stuff, right? And the people, places, things, thought processes, programs, all the stuff you had to unlearn, you've now learned how to let it go and understand it's not your burden to carry. But there's a moment, there's a small space when you empty all this stuff out that creates a void. And at first, it's a really uncomfortable void and it feels yucky and scary and weird. And a lot of people fall back. So they spiral so much because they go to what's comfortable, what they're used to, and they start filling it with all that crap again because that's what they're used to. But as I started doing the reading, I felt so much like it was like that release. Oh, wait a minute. It was like a aha moment. Like I understand what that is. And what I feel like is y'all are coming out of the still point. You're understanding to move forward, you need to be balanced and you're trusting in it. You're saying, I know how to nurture myself. I know that I can come back. And if I have compassion for myself and my starting over doesn't mean starting from way back there. It means starting from right here, from a place of learned, lived experience. And that's great. I found my emotions being heightened and heavier last few days. Yes, the Leo moon, but that's good because that's how the best way to put it. It's the ego death, right? You're getting rid of that ego. It's okay to have ego, but you're getting rid of the one that's holding you back. The one that says, I'm too I'm too good to learn. I'm too this, too that. We're never too anything. And that ego is meant for a protection thing. But when you acknowledge it and say, we're never too anything, so maybe we should listen and learn, um, you kill it, right? Essentially, you kill it and say, you don't belong here. I'm ready to learn. Now you're seeking wisdom, knowledge, and enlightenment. And that load gets way lighter. That weight doesn't hold you down. And yes, that you're the horse. You already know you're the horse. Everybody's about to go. The people that have been doing the work are understanding 1000%. When you hit that ground running, my God, it's going to be like the race. Okay. Some of my friends, yeah, all of us are feeling it. If you've been doing the work, you're feeling it. And if they're not doing, haven't been doing the work, they're going to feel real heavy, which is not a bad thing. It's not punishment for not doing the work. It's saying maybe it's time to do the work. But once they start doing it, year of the horse, doesn't matter. The only difference is having to process those energies is going to be, they're going to have to really, really focus and nurture and breathe and give themselves grace, which is also, I think, if you look at a lot of my content, you can see it on my YouTube because I save it there. But the reason it's there is the people that are coming out this year. I'm helping the people as they go, but you got to understand the people that are coming out this year that are going to have to pace through all of this shit are not even going to know what to do with it. So this is where I promise you, this year, my content is going to start going out the stuff that I've been talking about, because it tells you how to do it. It tells you how to focus on it without hurting yourself. It reminds you, give yourself grace. It's okay to feel these emotions. It's okay to do this. If you're triggered, it's not a bad thing. It's telling you to understand what it is, right? Every day God sees fit to allow me on this earth. Amen. If there's breath in your lungs, you matter, period, because you have a story to tell, you have something to teach, and there's a reason you're here. God doesn't just let us wander around without purpose. Okay, even when we're screwing the whole world up and we don't know what we're doing, it's leading us to our purpose, right? Because every time we fail, you got to walk through the fire so many times. You got to get burned. It's like the kids touching the stove. How many times you push their hand away because they didn't do it, push their hand away, and eventually they're going to go till they burn themselves, right? Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. And there's no way you can stop it. And if you do stop it, you're actually hindering them. I'm not saying push your kid in front of a car to teach them. I'm saying at the end of the day, you can only pull someone back. You can only stop them so much. And the more you do that, you actually hinder them from their journey, right? So I'm a firm believer. If you have breath in your lungs, there's a reason you're still here, period. And it's to teach, help, or boost somebody else along the way. Letting go and letting God. It took me years to learn, but our flawed human nature fights it. That's the ego. That's the ego. It's not just you. It's all of us. Don't you worry. Balanced tips. Oh yeah, Inan, welcome, and Lena. Okay, journey to wholeness. I talk so much. I got to keep an eye on the time or I get myself in trouble. Traditional Japanese painters do not paint the eyes of a deity before the rest of the body, as they say this is the element that brings it to life. But for this image, I did just that. It was one of the most profound painting experiences I have experienced. I created deep into the night, and no matter how hard I tried, I could not put my paintbrush down. At 3 a.m., I was coaxed away, and as I stepped back, I burst into tears. I was deeply upset at the being that had come alive on the canvas, could be sensed in my art space, and felt as if it was within me. The canvas had held a half-formed being, part woman and somewhat octopus. She was troubled. The process she was in was quite disturbing to her. After doing a clearing, I was able to sleep. The next morning, my housemaid inquired what had happened in the night, as his pictures were falling off the walls. As I worked on the painting over the next week, it felt like this being was undergoing healing. She was brought to wholeness and became quite beautiful with evolved energy systems and a sense of enlightenment and knowing about her. I have come to realize that this being is a hybrid. There are mixed reports about what caused these beings to be this way, but it seems there was a distinct sense of upset and disease amongst them, and they had an intense longing to be whole again. Some say the Lemurian hybrids were experiments done by the Atlanteans as they pushed what was possible. Others say they were a result of a vibratory similarities as the Lemurians became more physicalized, causing them to mix with that of animals, depending on where their vibration was. Most accounts associate the hybrid form with dis-ease and a sense of being outcast. It is understood that hybrids started appearing toward the end of the Lemurian epoch as they were densifying, and the Atlantean mind-based intellect interfered with the ebb and flow of Lemurian waves, though this is not what caused their demise. This card is about loving yourself and others from a sense of wholeness, exactly as you are right now. It is only from this space that healing can take place. We may find ourselves in relationships or scenarios where we can see great potential. We may have concepts of others that are not really who they are due to subconscious projections or ideals. We could have the idea that we will feel better about ourselves when we achieve a goal or status, that success will somehow make everything better. Unfortunately, this takes us out of the present and makes our love somewhat conditional. To be a healer, transcend the perspective that the being in front of you needs to be fixed. Hold the vision that they are perfect as they are. From this place, they can heal themselves through the transformative power of acceptance. Acknowledge the full spectrum of a picture and bring any fractured parts back to the present moment. In this place, we are whole, and thus we have the power to step into the brightest version of ourselves. And that's exactly what you're doing. Yes, I'm reading it, and what it's meaning is you've found the balance, but you're understanding that if you fuck up 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, you're worthy. You're worthy. You're enough. You're perfect as you are. Those mistakes weren't meant to hinder you, traumatize you, take you out of your life or love for yourself. They were meant to show you that everybody screws up. I almost kicked myself out of YouTube. Hold on. uh, Give me one sec. There we go. The notifications keep kicking me out. When you understand that you're inherently worthy, if there's breath in your lungs, you are absolutely worthy. You're perfect as you are. When we learn along the way, it's really, really important to understand that. When we take that perspective, instead of punishing ourselves for mistakes we've made, mistakes. They weren't mistakes. They were lessons. They were to teach you. And they're meant to teach you in the way only you could understand. It's not for you to confuse. It's not for somebody else to judge. It's for you to connect with your spirit team to say, hey, what am I doing that's not working out? How can I fix this? How can I adjust it? And you're learning that when you nurture yourself and you show yourself just a little bit of compassion, you're able to find that courage. And you're not going to get worried all the time about what's going to happen because you're starting to trust. You're connecting with your spirit team. You're finding the balance. And you know that just the fact that you have breath in your lungs means you're worth it. You're perfect as you are. We're always changing. We're always growing. We're always getting better. That is Earth school. That's what we're here to master, right? So we know that starting over doesn't mean we punish ourselves, degrade ourselves, put ourselves down, think of all the things we've done horrible, one-on-one on the main clock too. If that's not confirmation, I don't know what is, okay? When we find that balance and we move forward, we're in a space where I can trust. I might be confused in this moment. I may not know the end result, but I know that I'm perfect exactly as I am. And everything that I learn just adds to my perfectness. I'm worthy. I deserve everything. I'm affirming my greatness. And in turn, I'm going to walk that path in just that same greatness. Why? Because I deserve it, of course. I've been putting in the work. I show up. But even if I don't put in the work, I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm worthy. I'm perfect. And when things change and the energy changes, you're learning. You're just perfecting. You're ending. You're adding to the art piece. You're adding your jewelry, your accessories. You're adding all the things that beautiful, right? But you're always, always perfect as you are. And when we learn and we create and we add to that, it's like the cherry on top. We're adding the icing to the cake, but the entire cake is beautiful as it already is, right? And when we start seeing that about ourselves, it's a lot easier to have compassion for ourselves and obviously in turn for other people because we're trusting it, right? When we're empathic starseeds, we tend to punish ourselves, right? And what else happens is we take these projections from other people, sometimes ourselves, but most of the time it's from other people, from groups, from programs, from ideas, social media. Like there's a million different ways that they come, but we take those projections and they weigh us down. And we're like, why I think this about myself, but you really don't. You're learning to sort through, oh wait, that's not mine. I don't believe that about myself. I know I'm perfect. I know I deserve this. I know I have compassion and nurture and integrity. I stand in it. Even when I'm confused, I stand in it and I pause. I don't self-sabotage. I don't beat myself up. I pause. I ask the question. I wait for the answer. And even if I don't get all the answer, I get enough to make the next step. And I know that that next step is made with integrity, with clarity, with honesty, and with compassion for yourself first, and in turn, anywhere else. And that's the most important part. When you have that compassion, right, you're guaranteed. You know, prosperity, holy hell, speak, lies ahead, right? All the answers you need are coming. You know they're coming. You may have to pause and wait for them for a moment. You may have to get quiet. You may have to show up for yourself. But while you're waiting for those answers, you're perfect as is. You're only adding to the perfection, right? Uh, when we take from this point where everyone is flawed, when we understand that, what is perfection? What is your version of perfection? What is my version of perfection? What is God's version of perfection? There is no perfection. The only thing that is perfect is the creator, right? That's it. Our creator is the only form of perfection that we know of. And is that perfect? Who knows, right? We don't know. But what we do know is that the creator created us and created us in our absolute beauty and our empowerment with free will, which is the part that screws us up. Well, things aren't perfect. No, he created us perfectly with free will. Again, we all have the capability to be the biggest beast or the most absolute angel. And when you learn to find that balance, you're understanding that you trust, right? I know I could be a beast. I know I can be amazing, but I choose every single day with my free will that God gave me to show up in a balanced, integral, centered, nurturing, compassion way. So I can't spiral anymore. I'm not punishing myself. I see myself. I love myself. I'm perfect as I am. And I'm just learning. I'm showing up every day in Earth School, nurturing my best self. Uh, have a friend going live, man. I'm going to jump off. Please stay safe. Yes, you too. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. Will me and Jacobs have a good time this weekend? I don't know. I hope you do. I don't know who Jacob is, so I can't ask you that, but I can't answer that for you because Jacob's not here. But I'll tell you this immediately. You get out of anything what you put into it. And that doesn't mean overcommitting. That make sure you know your boundaries. Make sure everything that you're planning to do has a specific boundary, so you don't get swayed into doing something that you don't want to do. And then go in with the excitement of having fun, and then you're almost going to guarantee it. Could I please have a card pull for the next couple of weeks? Yeah, give me just 1 second. We're almost at the end. My greatest experience of freedom comes when I let go of what others think of me. Yeah, you're trusting in yourself. You're trusting in your own divine authority. You are whole, just who you are. You were never broken. You are learning. You are evolving. You are becoming your greatest self. And every single day, that still holds true. All right. Could I please have a card pull for the next couple of weeks? My. Okay, for Bonnie. Can we have an energy check for Bonnie for the next couple of weeks? The year snake is ending. Yes, the end of February. Is it March or April? I can't remember. Just give me one or two so we can see the energy. Oh, we got. Okay, so you're letting go of burdens. So that's good. You're releasing some burdens. Give me one more. And the king is. So you're getting clarity. And that is your energy. Okay, this is sideways. You're releasing the burdens. You're not holding on to them anymore, and you're getting clarity on a situation, right? You're turning that sword upright. You're understanding where you fit in. And by fit in, I don't mean into a group. You're understanding where you fit into your life, where you should be number one, and you're starting to show up for yourself that way. And that's a pretty good space. It's a really good space to be in. Did my ex stalk my? I can't even ask you. I can't ask that because that's asking about your ex. If you feel like they did, chances are they probably did. Um, I've dealt with that for so long in my life that I don't even bother. It doesn't even phase me anymore. But if you have to question it, it means your intuition is probably telling you what you already need to know. Uh, that's resonating. That's good. And I think when you're learning to, that's the whole Aries situation, right? You're getting that balance. It fit in actually perfectly, which is pretty wild. You don't give a shit what people think of you anymore. You're trusting in your own energy, your own authority, your own understanding that everything you learn just keeps completing your wholeness, making it better. Can never hear my intuition. I have problems. Well, what are you speaking? Look at what you're speaking right now. How are you going to have a space of intuition and hearing it if you're already saying, I can never do it? You can say, I can never do it, or you can say, I can, and I am actively learning. Both sentences are true. You choose what you want to do. If you're going to speak your life and your existence, why do you want to speak blockages and hindrances and negativity on it? Speak your greatness. Speak it like you own it, and watch. It comes. It'll come small. It'll come in a little insight here, a little watching, seeing 101 here, 101 popping up there. Oh, why is that number standing out so much all of a sudden? Speak your greatness. Don't put yourself in the I can't do it bucket. Both are true. I can't do it or I can do it. Your body and your soul follow your voice. They follow your actions, follow your voice, your written word, how you behave. Choose your hard. Do you want to be hard and hinder and block? Or do you want to have a hard because you choose to stand up in authority, speak your greatness, and rise above? Because that's exactly what you're going to do. Just choose it. You choose how you want to behave. You choose how you want to do things. Well, your mind is full of programs. It's full of culture, stereotypes, all of these things that have been programmed to us since children. You have to unlearn. Oh my God, my English. You have to unlearn, and it's okay to do that. And don't punish yourself because it takes time. But those every time that negative comes in, catch it. If you can catch it just for a moment, say, that's not me. I don't like that. And then switch it to an affirmation. I am learning how to overcome this actively. Every single day, I will do better. Um, when you speak those kind of things in there, it's just reframing the negative. You're just taking the negative and turning it into learning, inspired, and the positive outcome that you're looking for, right? And when you do that, you're telling the universe exactly what you want. And yes, your positive mind needs to be sometimes reconvinced with your positive words, because when you don't do that, you hinder yourself. And that creeping negativity can keep in and kick your butt. And it's very quickly, it will pull you back, especially if you're not used to learning how to catch it and overcome it. And this is what Aries has actually learned. They have found that balance, and they don't give a shit anymore what people think. And that's the most free you could ever be. Okay, it's not about being free and being cruel and mean and everything. It's understanding that freedom comes with authority. And what else comes with authority? It comes with your own accountability, right? Uh, how do you deal, or how did you deal with negativity? Oh, my whole life I dealt with that. And the whole thing is, um, from this point, let's just say from right now, this is 0 point. Anything you knew from this point for before you, you didn't know better, right? Uh, oh, the freedom one, yeah, I know this is my favorite one too. I do the same thing. I screenshot them. Uh, Emmanuel, welcome. So the reason it's so important is when you go back from all of your past stuff, you can't punish yourself for stuff you didn't know, right? You can't. You didn't know. But it is your responsibility to, once you know you can do better, to find a way to actively do so. That doesn't mean you're going to be perfect in it. It means that you know there's a better way. So now you got to show up and treat yourself um, like the divine person you are, right? Learning how to understand what's yours, what do you really believe, and what someone else is projecting onto you. Um, it's a balance, and you have to work, and it takes practice. Nobody walked up being immediately a mathematician, immediately a perfect drywaller, a plumber. Nobody was that. It takes practice, and it's the same thing. So if you're going to practice something, and if you look at all these high career people that like big business and all that, they don't ever tell you work on your business. They don't ever tell you sell. You know what they tell you? Work on yourself. Okay. Because the more I empower myself, the more I embolden myself, the more I enlighten myself, I become smarter, more knowledgeable, more compassion, more understanding towards myself. I'm inherently going to be that way with everyone I deal with. So when you better yourself, you better everything around you, not just yourself, everything around you by default. Uh, and it starts with you understanding that freedom and accountability must coexist to find balance, right? And that's literally what Aries has done. And I'm telling you, you're the horse that's coming in strong. You're ready. You're ready to hit that road running, and it's a really good thing. Freedom again. If there isn't confirmation, I don't know what is. Okay. Thank you for that. What is your name? SN35. We're going to leave it at that. I don't know how to read the words properly. I realize my wounds create doubt, resentment, and guilt. Oh, this is the answer to your question. So I work to free myself of darkness. I cast off negative thoughts, find peace in my heart, and discover the being of light within me. We all have shadows. We all have light. There's darkness. There's those places of us that we feel shy or wanting nobody to see because we don't want to deal with them. But the problem, when you do this healing journey, you force yourself to deal with them. And in doing them, you become more and more accountable, right? You become stronger, more confident, more courageous, more compassionate by default, because those dark corners, you're not throwing them away. You're saying, I understand that absolute speed, uh, that grit that you got to pull when you got to dig up enough to get through to the next day, and these things that are trying times. That is the dirt, the shadows, the things that need to be hidden, but that's meant to be pulled from when needed. And when you learn to integrate that and find the balance, it's a tool. It's one of your greatest strengths. It's one of the best parts about you. You know, that commitment, that integrity, that no matter what, that's a sword I'm willing to die on, and nobody can take that from me, right? That's who you are. And when you learn and you trust and you understand that, that's not something to hide. That's something to be proud of. And yes, it can become a little crazy when you're using it way out here out of balance because you didn't understand. But when you find that balance and you integrate that shadow into that light, it doesn't become something that's painful. It becomes one of your greatest strengths and your greatest stories that you can share. And it doesn't matter how you share it. It doesn't have to be just here. Hi, Raccoon. How are you? Welcome. Hey, anytime. I promise you, anytime. When I come on here, I give my energy like I do. I share my love like I do. Because it's meant for anyone in a moment of need, anyone with questions. I come on and I do these things because at the end of the day, I've made sure my cup is full. So I'm really glad I could be helpful, and don't ever hesitate, especially in those moments where something feels a struggle. Even if I'm talking, fucking interrupt me, bud. That's what matters. I'm here, and sometimes it doesn't matter if it's doing the cards, I'm here. And the idea is that you have a safe space to ask questions, especially if they're reasonable, right? If they're helpful and something that's needed. Yes, I enjoy these lives. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then positive thinking. Again, freedom, positive thinking. Do you understand the way things are going forward? My life is full of small patches of light. They don't have to be huge. They start with small, doesn't matter. They're there. Your light's never going to go out unless you let it. I direct my thoughts to that which brings me well being. I place what is weighty for me into the hands of the universe. Little by little, the light awakens in my being and I find serenity. When you understand that everything that you've been through, everything that you have control of, you have to actively take part in. You have to actively try. But there comes a time when you've done everything in this power in the world that you know that you've learned to date, and you've used it. You've actively used it, and you've trusted. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what to do. What happens? Okay, God, I did everything I can. So until you can show me the next step, I'm going to just wait here and wait for direction, or I'm leaving it to you. And then you let it go and you don't worry about it anymore because it's let go and let God for a reason. And then the way shit falls into place and the way it'll work out will blow your freaking mind. Can I write you one topic that I'd want to share with your interesting way of thinking? Go ahead. Um, but you gotta make it quick because I got 10 minutes left and then I gotta go get my daughter. Um, I'm really glad that I made a difference. It actually brings me joy. I actually almost stopped doing these a year ago on TikTok. I had a lady, hold on, it went fast. I find humans as souls who are here just to experience humans, experience sadness, anger, happiness. And because of that, I often find myself into realization mode. But deep in me, I want to explore everything and the highest things as human being. We came to this planet. Yes, it's Earth School. And also, it often saves me. Right. So I'm the same way. I'm empathic. And this is where the empathic starseed comes in. Okay. And and I'm not going to, this is not an accusation or anything of the sort, but it specifically talked about starseeds, because what happens when you're empathic starseeds, you take on everybody's emotion. You feel it. Uh, you feel it, right? You don't understand. You need to sort through, because I didn't think I was helping anybody. I was like, well, I'm just wasting my time. And you know what? A lady sent me an email and she told me like she was almost going to, and I came across her screen. I came across her thing there. She never would have found me, and saved her life that night. After I cried for 4 days, I got back to her, and she still follows me on here, and we talk every once in a while. But we feel other people's emotions, and it sucks because until you understand what's yours and what you have to carry and what you have to let go of, that process is hard. And that's why this balance is so important, because you have to understand that's not how I feel right now. I wasn't feeling this before 121 on the clock. Those new beginnings come from balance. That too is balance. But to balance, we have to understand the duality. We have to understand our absolute greatest and our absolute worst, right? And when you understand, that's why the whole heaven and hell, demons and God thing, it's true, but it's a different, if you look at it from a different perspective, you're understanding that every single human being on the planet has both capacities, both capabilities. Okay, free will was our option. It was our opportunity to make the choice. Am I going to be an asshole today, or am I going to show up with a little more compassion and find that balance? Every single choice you make is that balance. And when you learn that, it creates a whole different way to step out. Free will is a bitch sometimes, because there's times you want to be like, right? But you're learning that if I make that choice, I stand in my integrity, I stand in my accountability, and I stand with love. It makes it a lot easier to nurture yourself, to love yourself, and to sit with yourself in that struggle, right? It's really important. It's 1,000%. Right. Okay. That's one of my most favorite things, Raccoon. 1,000%. You're all of us and we are you. We are all a drop in the bucket or in the ocean. Let's just say the ocean, right? We're each our own individual drop, but we are collectively the ocean. Do you understand? So we can pull, when we can find that center and that balance, we can ask the questions and we can pull from that ocean exactly what we need when we need it. Does it take practice? Yes. Does it take clearing your mind of the shoulda, wouldas? Oh my God, I can't. What the fuck is this? Oh my God, I can't do it. Yes, it's got to go. You got to make room. 1, 2, 3 on the clock. Progression. We're learning, right? We're learning as we're going. We're not starting over from way back there, the backflip through the mud anymore. We're pausing in that moment to say, okay, I need to learn. I need to understand. I need to understand what this means so I can move forward in my best way. And that is empowerment, because now you're not worried about the spiral. You can't go back. There's no going back. You're moving forward. And if you stop, you're stopping to sit and learn and understand the lesson. You're asking, you're connecting, you're showing compassion to yourself. That compassion is what's going to nurture that connection. It's going to find the answers for you. I'm not here to give you your answers. I'm here to show you how to get your own answers, how to trust those answers, how to be empowered, stand in integrity. You should open a YT about learning people about life because you have that attitude. I have a YouTube. It's called Creativity Guides Me, and I have all kinds of work on this. I have to go now. I enjoyed the live. Thank you so much for showing up. I appreciate you. But then each person has the ocean inside of them. Yeah, because that's your connection. That's your connection with source. That's how you pull out of it, right? And that's how you understand. That's how you understand who you are. And that's how you learn to separate what you're holding on to, what you don't need to hold on to. And then it's also where you understand, hey, wait a minute. I really like the strength that that person had. Do you believe in Jesus? I believe in God. I believe in angels. I believe in Jesus. I believe in my spirit team, my ancestors. They all exist. There's 1,000 different timelines going on at the same time. What people tend to misunderstand is in believing in this, religion gets in the way. And religion gets in the way because what it does is separate, right? When you're saying Christians against Catholics, against Muslims, against this, they all at the core, okay, if you can look into some church systems and they're so toxic and horrible, but then you can look at the people that are in the church, and 99.9% of them are the most amazing people in the world. Hearts of gold. They want the connection. They want to build each other up. But that religion, the crappy people there, give all these other people a bad name. It's not about your religion. God didn't say you must be Christian, you must be this. You can't tell me that. There's nobody on this planet that will ever convince me. Why? Because the natives, they didn't read a Bible. They had their own language, their own understanding. They thanked the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars. They thanked the grass. They thanked the animals. They praised their animals when they had to kill them for food. There's a whole different system, and that doesn't mean it's different from a religion. What it means is it's saying, we're thanking you for whoever you are, wherever you are. I don't have to agree with everything you do. That doesn't mean I'm not thankful you're here. It means I love you. I want the best for you. And I want to see you do everything at your highest best self. I don't need a Bible to tell me that. And that doesn't mean I don't read the Bible. Doesn't mean I don't love the Bible. Doesn't mean me and God are tight. Okay. And when I tell you, I don't have to bow my head and kneel with him. I have conversations every day, all day. I talk about my emotions. I ask questions. I get the answers. And I'll tell you, I know when God's pissed too, because when shit went, I have videos. You can go back 6 months ago and watch. Okay. I ended up homeless with my kid. I had to go through all the things, and I have been doing all the work. When I tell you the work I have been doing, but I didn't give in, and I'm like, hell no, I know I'm right. I've been checking in. I do the work. When I tell you the way God put shit in place, he went, oh yeah, watch this. Because I was like, I don't know what I have to do, God. I have to leave it to you. I've done literally everything I could possibly do. And I'm telling you, in 24 hours, boom, 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 boom. The way it laid out, I now have my business up and running, create a website. I'm in a business program. I'm doing this. I can't tell you, when shit hits, it hits. Because God was sick and tired of people playing with me. God said, nope, you show up, you do it. Even when you're down, you're cheering people on. You're boosting them up. Because why? Because that's who I am. It's not a game. It's not. I want to see people win. I genuinely believe that every single human being on this planet has the capability. Whether they choose to do so or not is on them, right? But I believe in you. And if I see greatness in you, I'm going to speak life into you. Why? Because if somebody speaks life into you, what happens? I build your confidence. I might see something you could never see in yourself because you're so, something that's so amazing in you that you never see. You don't even understand it because you're not paying attention, because you're worried about all this other shit that doesn't matter. So if I speak it into you and I tell you, and you start noticing it and you nurture it just a little bit, you just nurture it just a little bit. What happens? That little seed I planted is going to bloom you into the amazing flower you're meant to be. And it took what? A couple compliments, a couple moments to see you and understand you. Uh, Zeus was a comedian's bit. Oh, yeah. I missed it. Hold on. Religions are all the same. Yeah. Religions separate, just like the whole class war, the color war, like there's so many things, the sex war. Um, we need to get rid of that, because what does it matter to me what you're doing? If you're not hurting somebody, physically trying to hurt somebody, screwing with somebody else's life, and you're just trying to be happy and live your life, I support that. If you're hurting people, if you're damaging kids, and I'm not going to pray for your demise, but you know what I'm going to pray for every single day? The truth to come out. I'll tell you, in 2016, my life was ruined. And you know why? It was because I was talking about Epstein and all the bullshit that was happening. I was researching. When I tell you the rabbit hole I went down, and my whole life fell apart. It was ripped out from under me, my business, my everything. Just traumatized after traumatized after traumatized because I wouldn't shut up about it. And they're like, yeah, you don't want to shut up? You're going to shut up. And they only shut me up because I didn't have a space. They kept me homeless and things, ruining my life. But you know what happened? Uh, I found balance and I overcame it, and nobody can stop me. And I'm going to say what I want, and I'm going to believe what I want. And I'm never going to say something that I haven't researched 5,000%. Do I know every victim? No. But do I know that I prayed every single day for the truth to come out, for the light to be shone in the darkest corners, for accountability to reign? I prayed every fucking day for 10 years. For 10 years. Look at the shit that's going on in the media right now. And they can't hide it. They can't fucking hide it. And I'm going, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. People are like, oh, you should fight. You should do this. You should. No, I did that. I did that war. You guys are catching up. So I'm not going to rush ahead anymore. I'm going to wait for it. I'm going to protect my kids. I'm going to protect my people around me. And I'm going to speak out with everything I got. But I'll tell you, I'm not going to bow down. I'm not going to not do anything. But I'm not going to keep punishing myself and taking a war that one person can't do. But I can teach you personal accountability. I can teach you how to protect your kids. I can teach you how to stand strong, see something, say something, understand that when your integrity and your North Pole and your alignment is perfect, guess what? You see the differences. And when you see the shit, you can't unsee it. And when you can't unsee it, what do? You make change. And maybe you can't stop the assholes high up over there, but you can stop it in your own community. You can protect your children. You can protect your nieces and your nephews and all of those people, your neighbors. I'm teaching you to take part in the part that you can control. It was such a nice time hearing your angelic voice. Oh, thank you. I hope you have a beautiful day. And I hope, even if any little bit stuck, love yourself first and find that balance. I'm going to be late. The truth is all we want. I want more than that. I'm not going to lie. I didn't go through all the torture that I went through to not see vindication. And I know vindication is coming, so that's not the thing. But I want protection for those children. I want healing for those children, because the kind of fucking damage, the ones that survived, that kind of damage, I know how hard that is to overcome. It's how hard that is to heal. And it's possible. I'm walking proof. It's possible. Not from Epstein. I don't know their stuff, but I've been through some shit. Okay. Healing is possible, but it also needs compassion. It doesn't need people telling them what was true and not true. It needs people just listening, hearing, how can I help? Because they're not even going to always know, right? You have no idea. Oh, yeah, they fuck around and found out. You got no idea. You got no idea the lengths that I will go. And that's when I say we all have the capability of being an angel, but we got that demon too. Bitch, try my kid. Watch, like, if you want to see me step out of line real quick, there's not even a second guess. And God knows that. Trust me, God knows that. That's why I promise you, my kid is one of the most protected kids on the planet. And if your kid's anywhere near me, 1000% they're protected. Even if your adults are. I was always mama bear. Okay, I gotta go though. I've been fucking around way too much. But I love talking with you guys. I might come on this weekend one day. It'll have to be just on YouTube because my daughter's home. TikTok gives me trouble. But I'll come on and do card pulls and advice and some other cool stuff that just kind of hang out. Do some card pulls, whatever, some fun stuff. We can talk about all the good stuff, the bad stuff, all of it, and just have some fun. I think that's kind of needed. I think it's a good way to get to know people, but it's also a good way to see your strengths and really boost it up. So I hope you have a really great day. I got to get my ass out of here. Ivy, welcome. I'm sorry, I got to go. I got to get my daughter. Today was a very rushed day for me. I don't know. Like it flew. I don't even know what happened. But that's okay. That just means that I'm accomplishing a lot in a small amount of time. And if you saw what I was doing in the background on top of this, my content, my little things that I post every day, the twice a day, on top of the content that I do my speaking, on top of my workshops that I'm working on, I do a lot. But it's going to work out in the end and it will be beneficial. So I love you guys. I got to go. I'm sorry I'm rushing out of here, but my kid will kill me.